Pinky rolled her eyes, putting down the hammer and tongs as she walked back in front of her friend and stared pensively at the broken Pegasus. Gilda didn't even cry this much when she had a live parasprite stuffed down her throat. Pinky thought for a minute about what to do next. She had a sudden spark of inspiration. Rotating a wheel on the rack, Pinky laid Dash on her back and moved to Dash's hind legs, bringing the can with her. Picking up her tools, Pinky drove a searing hot spike of metal directly into the bottom of Dash's hoof. As Dash yelled in pain, Pinky moved around and drove the second nail into the other hoof. Next, Pinky went back to her cart and located an enormous battery and a controller, which she dragged over to where she was working.
Oh God!
She tied copper wires between the terminals and the nails driven into Dash's hooves, and then gave Dash a wink and flipped the switch. Electricity rocketed through Dash's body. The blue pony reacted immediately. Her body seized, and her muscles snapped taut. Dash's hip thrust skyward. Her eyes rolled back, and she let out a deep throat-shredding cry. Pinky giggled and danced in place. Then she reached down and turned up the juice. Dash convulsed uncontrollably, and her bladder emptied once more.
That's funny.
Wow.
That's
you serious, man?
What?
You lost your mind.
I know. What did I tell you earlier? My brain has been cut in two again. I'm insane again once more.
Wow.
After about 5 minutes, Pinky shut off the power. Whiffs of steam rose from the singed fur around Dash's hooves, and in the area reeked of cooked flesh and burnt enamel. Pinky rotated Dash upright again and tried snap the drooling, delicious pony back into attention. Dash, wake up! Dash, moaning, managed to give him... I don't know how to say that word.
Acknowledgement?
No, already got the modicum of weak acknowledgement. Pinky studied her handiwork and reached into the medicine bag and produced a large syringe. Alright, time for the last round.
Ooh.
Dash focused clearly on the needle, while Pinky took a question as to what it was. This is a little something to take the pain away. Pinky informed
Morphine!
Dash as she walked around to her victim's ruined back. Dash flinched as Pinky jabbed the needle into the lower part of the blues pony's spine. Moving in front of her friend again, Pinky leaned down and elaborated. In a few minutes, you won't be able to feel anything below your rib cage. Then you'll be able to stay awake and watch the harvest. Dash started to cry again. Pinky, she told out. Yeah, I want to go home, Dash said. Yeah, I can see you wanting to do that, replied the party pony. Sometimes I just want to give up and say I'm done with this mess and go to bed. But you know what? You can't shrug off your responsibilities. You gotta pull yourself up and meet the challenges head on. That's the only way you're gonna get ahead in life. Dash hung her head and cried. Minutes passed as the drug took effect. Eventually, Dash was completely numb from her chest to her flanks. At this point, Pinky approached with the scalpel, glancing at Dash and smiling. Pinky had made a long horizontal cut across his Pegasus pony's pelvis, just above her crotch. Moving up Dash's body, Pinky made a similar incision to under her ribs. Finally, Pinky made a long vertical cut down Dash's stomach, connecting the first two. Looks like I got my eye on you, Dash, Pinky giggled. With a moist, gooey sound of her flaps of skin open, the sight of her own organs and the lack of feeling caused Dash breathing to intensify. Pinky carefully sliced open Dash's abdominal sac and grabbed her large intestines as she separated the organ from the rest of her digestive tract and pulled it out of the new cavity. Pinky grew joyful, laughing as she gutted her friend. Pinky began to make jokes. Dash, growing weaker from this new source of blood loss, tried desperately to shut out the macabre comedy act. Look at me, I'm Rarity. Pinky laughed, was slinging the utensil tube around her neck and spraying blood in all directions. Isn't my new scarf so pretty? Reaching back inside, she sliced the smaller intestine off from the bowls, squeezing out the excess excrement. Pinky filled the slimy organ through her teeth and dragged it back and forth. Dentists say you gotta floss every day, Dash. Dash was barely aware of what was going on anymore. The shock was causing her to fade. Disappointed, Pinky dived back into the blue pony's guts, ramming up her routine. Oh, don't go yet, Dash. Pinky started pulling out the rest of Dash's organs, pausing with each removal. I know it can be a real pancreas, but you know I'm just a kidney with you. Wow. You really got to learn to liver it up. Boy, these jokes are getting bladder. I guess you gotta develop a stomach for them. Pinky placed the discarded body parts into a bucket, keeping the last one for a bit longer. Ooh, bagpipes, she said, placing the end of Dash's esophagus in her mouth and the stomach in her armpit. She squeezed. A spurt of acid hit her tongue. Ew! Oh, hey, look, there's your cupcake, Dash. Dash didn't hear her tormentor. She had slipped from consciousness minutes ago. Pinky, not yet satisfied, hit Dash with another adrenaline shot. Pinky woke up for the last time, her heart pounding. Warm blood flowed from her out of her wound in her chest in great spurts. It wouldn't be long now. Pinky bought Dash.
She would have died a long-ass time ago, simply due to the amount of blood being lost.
Yep. Pinky brought Dash around onto her back again and straddled the blue pony's chest and scalpel at the ready. You know, the Rainbow Dash, I'm disappointed. I thought you would have lasted longer. I really wanted to spend more time with you before we got here, but I guess it's my fault. I guess I should have taken it a little slower. Oh well, it really was nice knowing you, Dash. The blade sunk into the blue throat as worked its way up to Dash's chin. Coming back down, Pinky's scalpel then circled Dash's neck. The last thing Rainbow Dash felt was her skin being cut away from her skull. Then the metal of the blade scraping her teeth. Then she was gone. Pinky stared into the mirror. She has done a really good job. And keeping the eyelids, she winked and Dash winked back. Pinky smiled. But still, she was sad that her friend was now gone. Dash only lasted 50 minutes, not nearly as long as Pinky had wanted. She wanted to look back at the cadaver hanging from the center of the room, the last of her friend's fluid straying into a pan. Yep, no more Rainbow Dash. She looked and cocked her head. She began to take notice of the fact that there really wasn't much damage to the corpse. In fact, the big pony mused, I think an idea exploded in her head. She was good at sewing, and she had all the pieces. All she had to do was put them back together. Yeah.
Oh.
She had to get some stuffing, and bingo, she had a Rainbow Dash forever. In fact, thought Pinky, that's what she'd do for all of her best friends. When their numbers came up, she was so excited she skipped right over to the body with the Skinners to get started. The Cupcakes would wait. Pinkie Pie had a friend to make. And that's the end.
I hope Rary's next.
Oh my god, you shut up.